Good afternoon, Ashok sir.
Okay, ready?
Yes, sir, ready.
Just 1 second.
आता आपलं शेअर कुठून करायचं ते माहिती आहे ना. स्क्रीनवर ऑन केलं आहे ना आपण ते प्रेझेंटेशन. बस.
Anubha, okay, ready? Namaste, Sirji. Namaste.
नमस्ते नमस्ते.
Sir, we are live.
Can we start? तैयार है?
We are live, sir.
We are live.
A very good afternoon, everyone, and very warm welcome to 22nd Water Talk, being organized by National Water Mission, Ministry of Jal Shakti, and it's supported by Water Digest. I'm Anupma, the director and editor of Water Digest, and today's topic is rejuvenation of Malguzari tanks in Vidarbha. The talk is being delivered by Shirish Apte, water warrior from Maharashtra. I would like to welcome the speaker and Shri G. Ashok Kumar, Additional Secretary and Mission Director, National Water Mission, who is leading the Water Talk and Water Tech Talk and many other campaigns from National Water Mission. I now request Shri Ashok Ji to kindly propose the welcome address and also tell us more about the selection of this topic and our speaker today. Over to you, Ashok Ji.
Thank you, Anupama. Very nice to see you. Welcome, Shirish Apte ji, to this Water Talk. मैं 2-3 मिनट आपको इससे परिचित करा दूंगा. Actually, today our secretary, Sri Pankaj Kumar sir, he has been newly appointed, and should have been his first Water Talk. So he had got some important meeting आ गया, इसलिए he may join later on, I don't know. But otherwise, we were expecting him, Pankaj Kumar sir, the new secretary, to join us. Our previous secretary, Sri Singh sir, who had done a great job in promoting this and then getting maximum number of people in this. We miss him also in this session. Anyway, the National Water Mission, जैसे हमेशा मैं बताता हूँ, it is actually a mission which is formed as part of the National Action Plan for Climate Change. So इसी तरह में this mission was formed, and then we had been doing a lot of work on water-related activities. Now, very important was that in the last 2 years we have taken up very, very innovative things. एक तो एक water talk है, जैसे आज हमारा water talk है. It is the 22nd of the series. So, World Water Day 2019 March 22nd को हमने शुरू किया था इसका ये सिलसिला. We had started this in the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar International Center in Delhi. So those time it was physical talks. So nearly 200 to 300 people used to come and attend the Water Talk, and we had very eminent speakers attending, delivering this lecture, and many of them, in fact, 2 of them got Padma Award last year, Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan. So we had very eminent people coming and talking to us on their expertise in water field, whether it is theoretical experience or even practical experience. कई लोग जो लोगों को इकट्ठा करके जल आंदोलन को जन आंदोलन करने की कोशिश की थी और सफल हुए थे. ऐसे ऐसे लोगों को हम लाए थे. And very inspiring talks we had. We had many people who actually transformed the entire place, like our Hivare Bazaar में से Poplar Pawar ji, who had actually become a Sarpanch in somewhere in 1991, and पिछले almost 30 years he's driving that change in Hivare Bazaar village, and also being inspiration to many people in those areas, Nashik area. Man, that is very inspiring effort done by him. Also, we had Mr. Sonam Wangchuk coming from Ladakh. That is another level of sophistication and innovation, where he made the presentation on ice to plus, पानी को बर्फ में जमा करने के लिए एक नया सोच है. It's a new technique and technology, simple using simple physics of laws of physics. He had made water stupas which could store up to 6 crore liters. बहुत पानी स्टोर कर सकते थे उस समय. That may not be possible in Rajasthan. So we had Rajasthan से, we had Dr. Lakshman Singh आए थे. He had the Poria Gaon, how 798 onwards he made the transformation by this Devtal and Bhultal and all these things. Basically, we had people who were जमीन से जुड़े हुए लोग थे. उन्होंने अपने experience बताया, how लोगों को इकट्ठा करके, how people were motivated to come and how they could transform the lives of people. तो ये जीता जागता experiments हम करते थे. And उसके बाद when the COVID pandemic came up, we shifted on to the digital platform. इसलिए ये this talk should have been the 24th water talk, but हमारा अभी 22nd ही हो रहा है, because 2 महीने कोविड की वजह से हमको रोकना पड़ा, मार्च और अप्रैल में. Then हम हार मानने वाले में नहीं है, इसलिए we started with the tech talk. That's where Anupama and all came in. She had been very supportive with her digital platform, the Water Digest. It's a pioneering magazine in the water sector. वो लोग हमारे साथ जुट गए, and in the last 1 year we have been organizing this water tech talk and taking to DC heights, I would say. तो ये digital platform होने के बाद हमारा reach और participation का number भी बहुत बढ़ गया था. इतना बढ़ गया कि 18th water talk में मिनिस्टर का टॉक हुआ था, उसमें we had about 2.8 lakh people live आए थे. लाख, ये तो बड़ा this is something like a public meeting ऐसा हो गया था. इतना ज्यादा संख्या में लोग आए थे. And we had almost 3.8 lakh views after that. ये एक चीज है, डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म है. खूबी है कि एक तो नंबर बढ़ा सकते हैं, geographical reach भी बढ़ा सकते थे. We had people asking questions who were asking from Dubai, from Nigeria, from Australia, from New York, from even China. So she had Anupama ji's what database have people who have international analysts there. So they also started asking questions. So we had a reach from various parts of the world. It was a great, amazing experience where people are waiting for our talk. So it is something which we do not want to deny them of the privilege of this water talk. So we always now are ensuring that the water talks with good people who have done very good work in the field will be making their presentations. Second is the then we had these tech talks we started in August, where people who have done amazing research works in water and pure technology के बारे में बताने के लिए. तो इंजीनियर्स जो इस वाटर टॉक से माध्यम से हमसे जुड़े हुए थे, उनको नॉट जस्ट दी वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग स्ट्रक्चर्स के बारे में नहीं, बट नए टेक्नोलॉजी वाटर के फील्ड में, वेदर इज नेचुरल मेम्ब्रेन रिएक्टर या एटमॉस्फेरिक जनरेशन ऑफ वाटर. IIT चेन्नई के प्रोफेसर प्रदीप कुमार थे. लास्ट टाइम वी हैड समथिंग ऑन प्योर वाटर क्वालिटी टेस्टिंग के बारे में IIT कानपुर के प्रोफेसर इंद्रजीत सेन थे. जैसे देशी लोग जो टेक्नोलॉजी के फोरफ्रंट में नए नए इनोवेशन करते हैं, उनको भी एक प्लेटफॉर्म दिया गया था वाटर के बारे में, वाटर टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में बोलने के लिए. Then we also had participation, people from Sweden, IVI technologies were there. They also did presentation on the MBR technology and bio-MBR technology and use of wastewater for potable purpose. उसके बारे में बात किया था. We had Israel talking on GIS mapping and the technologies in Israel on various water-related technologies. So that is the second major innovation we did, was about the technology water tech talks. And the last one we had on dialogues with DM. That was with about 5 DMs, district magistrates, and one NGO. पिछले अगस्त 8 को हमने शुरू किया था. तब से हर सैटरडे we do a water dialogue with DMs, and almost 18-19 water dialogues with DM also has happened. So we are trying to give platforms to many people to come and talk and present their work, and also encourage them. And the best part, as I said, of these digital talks is that apart from increasing the numerical reach of the participants and also the geographical reach of the participants, one very important thing is that these are all recorded. These are all available with us, and after this program, Water Digest people give it to us the recorded version. We keep it in our website. So all these talks are available in our website. So anytime anybody wants to see it, it's available for viewing. And that has also been a great repository or inventory for us, because when we tell people that this is a type of talks which we had handled, many people go back and see and come back to us telling that it's a wonderful initiative. So thanks for all the team members of the National Water Mission who have been relentlessly doing this, and thanks for the technical support from Water Digest for taking these water talks forward. Now I'll take another 3-4 minutes because मेरे को 15 minutes का time दिया है अनुपमा, so I have to talk up to 15 minutes. इसमें Catch the Rain campaign is one thing which we have started to look at the supply side of the water. National Water Mission had started the Sahi Fasal campaign about a year back when we had a problem in Punjab where there was early burning issue there, and also where we had issues related to over exploitation of water in many of the areas. So हमने 2019 November 14 को पहली मीटिंग यहाँ पे अमृतसर में किया था. about 850 फार्मर्स को लेके उनको बताने की कोशिश की कि आप पैडी मत ग्रो कीजिएगा. पैडी इज अ वाटर guzzling crop. It's a water tolerant crop, but it requires a lot of water. And हमारा irrigation techniques की पुराना है जिसमें water wastage होता है. हमारा water use efficiency is only 30-35%. flood irrigation से बहुत नुकसान होते हैं, पानी का बहुत दोहन होता है. So we said that we should try for a crop diversification. इसके बारे में उनसे काफी बात हुई थी. Then we moved on to Aurangabad, where we had meeting with the sugarcane farmers. Then we had meeting in Kurukshetra with the farmers of Haryana, who also were doing paddy. But हमारे तमाम कोशिश की वजह से Haryana actually taken up a lot of initiative in crop diversification. उन्होंने almost 18 blocks में paddy ban करके रखा है, and also given incentives for diversification to maize and corn. Safalta, we have got it. Then we also had the talk in Sahi Fasal. We brought a very important, very innovative solution in the form of carbon sponge, where this water में moisture retain करने के लिए we had this talk from Dr. Walter Jean, who is a very, very well-known hydrologist from Australia. उन्होंने भी अपना talk रखा था. तो ये सिलसिला जारी रहे हुए. In the demand side, we also moved on to the supply side part of it, where we thought that rain को पकड़ के संभाल के संग्रह करके रखेंगे तो we will be able to store water which can be used in summer. So we found that rain जो monsoon महीने में आते हैं, that it comes in very high intensity these days due to climate change. But then the water which comes in that 4-5 months generally gets wasted, and it goes as flood. creating havoc in many other places. We thought, why not we store this rainwater when it falls? We came out with the campaign "Catch the Rain Where It Falls When It Falls." And जहाँ बरसे जब भी बरसे rain को पकड़ना है. And we have to see that the water is stored or not in big vessels but natural containers, natural vessels like water bodies, tanks, ponds, or even in the aquifers. So some efforts to be made to store the rainwater in aquifers and natural containers by digging more ponds or deepening more the lakes and ponds, or removing encroachments from the ponds, और having rooftop rainwater harvesting structures जो पानी ऊपर छत के ऊपर से हमको पाइप में कन्वेयर से डाके जमीन में एक्वाफर में डालते हैं, वो करने की कोशिश करने के लिए वी स्टार्टेड दिस कैच द रेन कैंपेन. तो पिछले एक साल से वो कर रहा है. And because of the COVID, we could not go out in the field. But उस समय just जैसे मार्च से दिसंबर तक हमने institutions में काम किया था. We had the Army, Air Force, Navy, Railways, airports, जैसे इंस्टीट्यूशन जिनके पास बहुत जमीन है, IITs, IIMs, यूनिवर्सिटीज, कॉलेजेस, जिनके पास जमीन बहुत है, उन लोगों को बताया कि आप अपने एरिया में वाटर संग्रह का ये साधन बने, make rainwater harvesting structures in your area. So that they have done. And then December 22nd, we moved on to after the relaxation of COVID restrictions, we moved on to the public using collaboration with the Nehru Yuva Kendra. So almost all districts in the country are participating in our campaign through the Nehru Yuva Kendra. We did training program for all the district coordinators of Nehru Yuva Kendra for almost 10 days, January 22nd to February 6th, we had training program. हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट के इंडिया के हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट के नेहरू युवा केंद्र कोऑर्डिनेटर से बातचीत करके उनको मोटिवेट करके इन टर्न दे ट्राइंग टू मोटिवेट द पीपल. तो लास्ट रिपोर्ट हमने देखा almost 29-30 lakh people have participated in various competitions related to Catch the Rain campaign. So it's a big muhim chal raha hai. And now we go to the next phase. Up to March tak, it will be a campaign on awareness generation, quizzes, competitions, wall writings, paintings, then debate competition. ये चल रहा है आजकल, and just to get people involved. And up to March तक वो जाएंगे, and April से फिर actual implementation field हो जाएंगे. That will be जल शक्ति अभियान 2 Catch the Rain campaign. Because हमारा ये है कि पिछले 1-2 साल पहले हमने जल शक्ति अभियान किया था, उसके continuity में अभी हो जाएंगे. So this is all the a brief introduction on various activities and the efforts which we have been doing for water conservation. आज हमारा in the Catch the Rain campaign, one of the main topics is restoration of old traditional water bodies. We have requested state governments to look at restoring the old bavis. We had speakers who had come from Puducherry who restored tanks of Chola period. Vikram Raja and all the people who had worked as collectors, they have presented how they had motivated religious institutions and local people to develop and make these old temple ponds and temple tanks functional, and the Chola period का वो tanks है उसी को functional बनाने के लिए chapels of India, जहाँ पे इंडिया के कई South chapels के एक बनाए थे, and that lineage we have today Sri Shirish Apte ji, who is a water warrior from Maharashtra, who had done a lot of water revolution from 2008 onward. He's been working with the conservation of water. He worked with the Management Department of Maharashtra after retirement ke baad, and pehle also he used to do a lot of work and won a lot of awards. He has done got awards of Vishweshwar Puraskar by Government of India, National Productivity Council Award, Chief Minister's Award for Outstanding Project Management. Then he is also mentioned the 5 Water Warriors of India in 2016. The recipient of the Sabhagiri Award in Community Mobilizer category from India Today. I say both सारे awards उन्होंने पाया है. And not only that, his main contribution has been on the restoring of Malguzari tanks in Vidarbha area of Maharashtra. आप जानते हैं कि महाराष्ट्र में काफी जगह में मराठवाड़ा विदर्भ एरिया में पानी का बड़ा समस्या होता है. So he had done that in मुहिम चलाए थे to get the Malguzari tanks को restore करने के लिए. These are all tanks constructed by Malguzars. He will tell about it. I not want to get the topic he is talking, but he had been inspiration for getting the work done in Malguzari tanks. That is exactly what we also plan in the Kashurin campaign. Purana traditional water bodies जहाँ पे भी है को revive करना है, उसको deepening करना है. We found that the tanks which were used as cricket grounds in Puducherry and Chennai have been converted to tanks back, and now water is there. Instead of cricket, now the fishes are swimming there. That's the type of effort we have to do, and this is the right time to catch the rain. So let us get inspired and let us hear what Shirishji Apteji have done. So I welcome Shirish Apteji to give his deliver his talk on restoration of Malguzari tanks. Over to you, Shirish Apteji.
Good afternoon. Honorable Secretary, Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India, respected Ashok sir, respected JP Singh sir, other distinguished dignitaries, and my dear friends. Today I am going to make a presentation on rejuvenation of Malguzari tanks in Vidarbha. तुम्ही मला समोर करा. Yes. So let us first understand the concept of Malguzari tanks. 300 years back, this area of Vidarbha in Maharashtra was under control of Gond kings. The Gond king brought the people of Kohli community from Uttar Pradesh and brought them here in this part of his kingdom. And he granted them land rights. So after coming down here, these people started cultivating their lands, and in order to provide water to this land, they have constructed these tanks. After that, the Bhosla kingdom of Nagpur overtaken the Gond kingdom. During their tenure, the Bhosla kingdom of Nagpur granted water rights to these farmers. In Bhosla kingdom, there was elaborate process of land revenues record system. In this land revenue records, there was one particular section which was called as Wazibul Arz or record of rights. Bhosla kings not only provided water rights to these farmers, but due mention was there in record of rights. So it is written down very well in the revenue record. Subsequently, the British government defeated the Nagpur kings, and they have decided to carry out a land revenue settlement exercise. It was carried out in year 1860. This was very long and elaborate process. It was second biggest land revenue settlement system after permanent settlement of Bengal. So after this settlement, land revenue settlement exercise, then British government granted tenancy right to these farmers and offered them a title of Malguzar. So, and since these tanks were constructed by Malguzars, we call these tanks as Malguzari tanks. All over India, there are many traditional irrigation systems are present till today. They were constructed long back, 300, 400 years back, and they are many of them are in sound condition. Some of them have deteriorated over the years. Then what is the peculiarity or speciality of Malguzari tank system? We'll discuss this now. First of all, these tanks were constructed in technical manner. I mean to say the tanks were constructed from ridge to valley. Nowadays, when we talk about water conservation, we always listen about this term ridge to valley. These tanks were constructed in Rish to Valley manner 300 years back. So that is one of the most important aspect of Malguzari system. Second one is, in this Malguzari tank irrigation system, the land rights and water rights are offered to the stakeholders. Nowadays, when we look at the issue of water entitlement, in many states we have water regulatory authorities. Now, one of the important function of this water regulatory authority is to grant water entitlement to water user association. However, this was done 300 years back in Malguzari system. Third important aspect of Malguzari tank system is, it is on day-to-day basis, it is maintained, operated, and actual irrigation was performed by group of farmers. In our local Marathi language, we call that group as Pani Vatap Samiti. In English, we can call them as Water Distribution Committee. The function of this committee is very similar to what present day Water Users Association. So this was present in Malguzari tank system more than 200 years back. Another important aspect of Malguzari system is, the regular irrigation is carried out by the landless Mazdoor of the village. So since these Mazdoors are landless, they don't have any land in command area. So they don't have any stakes there. So their approach towards actual irrigation is impartial or neutral. This clearly ensures impartial and judicious irrigation in command area. These are the prominent peculiarities of Malguzari tank system, and which is very well appreciated over the years. In District Gazetteer of Bhandara, then British government in year 1908 talked about the Malguzari tank system. I would like to read out what they have said. These large tanks have been constructed by members of Kohli caste, and though built without technical engineering knowledge, they form an enduring monument to the natural ability and industry of these enterprising cultivators. This was written way back in 1908, Imperial Gazetteer of India, and I am reading the para from Bhandara District Gazetteer component. So this was very well appreciated by even Britishers, and we are happy that many of the tanks have survived over the years. So after British government, we have independence. We got independence from them, and later on this part of Vidarbha became integral part of Central Province and Berar. The Central Province and Berar Assembly in year 1950 passed a resolution passed a resolution related to abolition of Malguzari system. This resolution later on became an act, and which is called as Abolition of Malguzari System Act 1950. After formation of Maharashtra, this part became integral part of Maharashtra. So after joining Maharashtra, government of Maharashtra took a policy decision to modernize these tanks, and especially the large and very large tanks. For that purpose, they have established a Malguzari tanks division in Gondia. That division and then government of Maharashtra started charging water cess to this Malguzari land, and that was the point of trouble. Aggrieved by this action of government of Maharashtra, the Malguzar started a legal battle against government of Maharashtra. It went up to Supreme Court. Later on, the Supreme Court verdict was in favor of Malguzar. The verdict says that the Malguzars are free right holders of these tanks. It means that government cannot charge water cess to them. So in 1950, government, then central province and there are government abolished Malguzari tank system, Malguzari system. So Malgujar were no longer owner of this tank. So they were not interested in maintaining it. And after this Supreme Court verdict, government of Maharashtra was not getting any revenue from these tanks. So it was very difficult for government of Maharashtra to maintain this. From this point onwards, the deterioration of these tanks started. And up to 1970, the deterioration process was slow. But after that, the tanks were started deteriorating very fast. In year 2008, I have taken over as Executive Engineer, Minor Irrigation Division, Bhandara. After taking over, I have visited these Malguzari tanks and I found that their condition is quite bad. So we have taken up this issue with Government of Maharashtra, and after persuasion, Government of Maharashtra was pleased to form a committee to look into the various issues of Malguzari tank. Executive Engineer, Minor Irrigation Division, Bhandara was member secretary of this committee. So the committee looked into various aspects of Malguzari tanks and submitted its report to Government of Maharashtra. Based on the recommendation of this committee, Government of Maharashtra issued a GR or government resolution related to various aspects of Malguzari tanks. The important aspect of this GR was, in this GR, Government of Maharashtra has specified the standard operating procedure or SOP of rejuvenation process. Second important issue mentioned in the GR was related to actual work of this tank. For example, the desilting work, the strengthening of earthen bunds, etc. And third and most important aspect was related to financial norms for carrying out rejuvenation process. This was the most important aspect in the sense that suppose if we want to undertake rejuvenation process of any particular tank, we have to work out the actual cost required for rejuvenation process. And if that cost is well within the financial norms, the proposal itself can be approved at local level. I mean at the level of Chief Engineer and Executive Director. We need not have to send the proposal to Government of Maharashtra. This has helped in reducing the initial period for approval of this proposal. So that has helped us a lot. Later on, we have started, after getting this GR, we have started the rejuvenation process for this Malguzari tank system. The first Malguzari tank rejuvenated was from village Jambhora. The process of rejuvenation was categorically described in the GR. For that, first we went to that Jambhora village, talked to the Gram Panchayat and talked to the villagers in command area. We have obtained their consent to undertake the rejuvenation. Secondly, we have also obtained their consent for depositing the silt in their land. The quantum of silt in these tanks was very large. If we compare with the height, it was around 1.5 to 1.7 meters. And if you look at the quantity, it was more than 1.5 lakh cubic meter per tank. So the quantity was huge. And the government GR was very specific about that. They have said that for the rejuvenation process, we will not acquire any land. So it was utmost necessary for us to get their consent. The farmers were not only willing, but they were very happy. Since this silt contained phosphorus and nitrogenous compound, they said that it is like a green manure for them. So first step was carrying out the entire desilting of this tank. While carrying out the entire desilting, we have talked to many stakeholders. the local officers of fisheries department suggested that we should have a shelter pit in the submergence of this tank. The concept of shelter pit was very difficult, very typical. It was not tried earlier in any project or any tank. The concept of shelter pit was if we have the shelter pit, then during summer season, when water level is low, the water will accumulate in the shelter pit, and along with this water, the fish will come, and fish will survive the summer season. Once they survive 3 to 4 summer season, the fish will start natural breeding, which will add to the fish catch for fishermen. So, as I told earlier, we have started desilting. We have started depositing the silt in the farmland of small and marginal farmers. The farmers who own bullock cart or tractor, they have carried out the silt and put that into their fields. After that, we have started strengthening of earthen bund of the tank. Because the earthen bund was very shaky, the top width of the earthen bund was reduced to 1.7 meter, 1.6 meter. In fact, if we go with the provision of minor irrigation manual of Maharashtra, the top width of minor tank should be at least 3 meters. So if we compare that top width of 1.7 meter with 3 meter, it is quite inadequate. So it was utmost necessary for us to strengthen the earthen bund of these Malguzari tanks. And then we also found that in case of overflow during monsoon, there were no guide bunds on the either side of estuary or spill channel. So it was necessary to provide guide bunds. Otherwise, what was happening during overflow, the entire water used to move around and enter into the adjoining field. And the standing crop in those fields used to get damaged. So in order to avoid that, we have also started constructing guide bunds. That was also another new component we have introduced in existing Malguzari tank system. After that, we have undertaken the repairs of canal. The canal section was very small. The bed width was around 3 to 4 feet. So it was not possible for us to carry out the repairs of canal by using these earth moving equipment. So what we have done, we organized a meeting of farmers in command area. We have suggested them that they should have a job card under Manrega scheme. After procuring job cards, we have started the canal work under MG Narega scheme. Under MG Narega, the work process is quite decentralized. The approval can be offered at lower level, district level, taluka level, and we can start the work. The people working on MG Narega, since they have their accounts in bank, it was easier for us to deposit their wages directly into their account. So there are two things. So for whatever we have discussed, there are two important things involved in this process. We have used the earth moving machinery of Mechanical Organization of Water Resources Department of Maharashtra. Secondly, the canal work was repaired under MG Narega scheme. The wages were directly deposited into a bank account of the laborers working on the project. So by doing this, we have ensured complete transparency in this process. We have not outsourced any task to any outsider. There were 28 Malguzari tanks under my division, out of which 22 Malguzari tanks were in very serious or critical condition. After visiting these tanks, I found that, or I thought that at any given particular day, if there is any heavy rainfall, there will be definitely a breach in the embankment, and that tank will be damaged. So we have concentrated our approach entirely over these 22 tanks. In first year, we have undertaken the work of 6 tanks. Next year, again 6 tanks. Likewise, in 3 to 4 years, we have completed this entire process of rejuvenating these 22 tanks. Later on, we have suggested to the Principal Secretary of Water Conservation and Rural Development Department that, sir, kindly adopt this GR of Water Resources Department for your own department. Fortunately, at that particular time, Honorable Principal Secretary of Water Conservation Department and Rural Development Department was holding additional charge of Water Resources Department. He not only helped us, but he also constantly encouraged us to undertake this activity over the years. So as we have made a request to him, he has granted our request and adopted the GR of Water Resources Department for the Malguzari tanks within Water Conservation and Rural Development Department. Long back, there were around 15 to 20,000 Malguzari tanks were present in this part of Vidarbha. Over the years, due to deterioration of due to deterioration of earthen bunds, due to encroachments, due to cultivation of land to a larger extent, many of these Malguzari tanks were perished. Right now, if we go by the government record, there are 6,900 Malguzari tanks are in existence. The first, you can see the picture of Zambora tank after restoration. This was the first Malguzari tank which we have rejuvenated in year 2008. Later on, as I have mentioned earlier, the GR of Water Resources Department was adopted by Water Conservation and Rural Development Department. So many tanks were under control of that department. So then we started a public awareness program regarding this. Every year at Bhandara, we used to organize one day workshop of all engineers involved in this process. The engineers from Water Resources Department, engineers from Water Conservation Department, engineers from Rural Development Department. All the three departments were working in tandem as a team. And fortunately for us, the district collector and other officials, chief executive officer of Jilla Parishad, and everybody was a part of this team. And we worked hand in hand to rejuvenate the Malguzari tanks. I have started this movement in 2008, and the movement is going on till today. Up till now, we have rejuvenated more than 3,400 tanks. We have almost crossed halfway. So that was one of the most important achievement of this. Now let us look at the benefits of restoration process. After removal of silt in command area, after removal of the silt from tank bed, the capacity of tank was increased considerably. I mean, the original storage capacity of these tanks was minimized due to silting. By carrying out desilting, we have restored that storage capacity. Then, after strengthening our earthen bund, we have ensured that there should not be any leakage from this tank in adjoining area. And later on, as I have told earlier, we have carried out the repairs to canal also. By carrying out repairs to canal, we have reduced the total period or total duration of actual irrigation. We have also minimized the losses. Now, by doing all this, we have ensured that farmers should get water to at least 2 seasons. So that was quite encouraging. Earlier, the farmers used to get only 1 or 2 rotation of water, that too during Kharif season. But because of this restoration of storage, improvement in the condition of earthen bund, repairs to canal, now we have enabled the farmers to get 2 crops in 2 seasons, that is Kharif and Rabi. As we have deposited the silt from Malguzari tank, which is rich in nitrogen and phosphorus content in the respective field of the farmers, which was acting as a manure. This has helped the farmers to increase the ability of the farm soil to generate more crop. The productivity was improved. Since due to availability of the water for 2 seasons, there was green fodder available to the farmers almost around the year. So they started maintaining cows and buffaloes. So because of cows and buffaloes, they were getting additional income by way of animal husbandry. So this has helped them a lot in generating more income. Due to availability of these animals, there was also availability of gobar or cow dung. The farmers were quite enthusiastic, and many of them have constructed gobar gas plant in the backyard of their house. So now they were getting gas for cooking and other activities. Because of availability of this gas for cooking and other activities, they have stopped going to the adjoining forest area to gather the firewood. So that has minimized the cause for man-animal conflict. After rejuvenation, the water was available to the farmers during the lean season of summer also. So after this, the wild animals were not going in the villages for drinking water purposes. So this has also helped to minimize man-animal conflict. Due to availability of water in lean summer season, the total population of herbivorous animal was growing every year. So due to growth in population of herbivorous animal, the prey base was increased. And many of these tanks were around the reserve forest of Nagzhira and Navegaon Bandh. These 2 forest reserves were integral part of Project Tiger. Due to growth in population of herbivorous animals, the tiger population started growing up. And sighting of the tiger was more and more nowadays. So after this, there was frequent sighting of the tigers in the tiger reserves. This has helped in generating additional income by way of forest tourism or wildlife tourism. Nowadays, many people from Nagpur, even up to Bombay, even this part of Madhya Pradesh, they are visiting these tiger reserves. So the tribal in the forest area, they are also getting additional income by way of wildlife tourism. So by carrying out this much rejuvenation process, by studying the various issues that has led to additional income to these farmers and other stakeholders, our findings was quite surprising. In year 2008 and 9, Bhandara and Gondia, these 2 districts were among the aspirational districts of India. For that, these 2 districts were getting some grant in aid from Government of India. And everywhere, when we used to discuss this issue, people used to offer their remark that you are from a quite backward area or underdeveloped area. So that was happening every now and then. But after rejuvenation of this Malguzari tank, our finding was quite surprising. I would like to cite you figures from economic survey data of Government of Maharashtra, which was submitted in Assembly before budget. So in year 2008 and 9, the per capita income of Bhandara district was 36,786. In year 13-14, it rose up to 75,764. So far Gondia district is concerned, the figures are in year 2008 and 9, the per capita income was 31,875. In year 13-14, it rose up to 68,665. So in short, in the span of 5 years, the per capita income of these two districts was doubled. Nowadays, we talk about that if we adopt various initiatives in agriculture, in water conservation, in other related fields, we can increase the income of farmers 100% within a span of 4 to 5 years. But this has actually happened in these two districts. Now let us come to the part that what lessons we have learned from this entire exercise of rejuvenation. This entire process of rejuvenation is quite simple. It is cheaper, and by using the available means, the farmers can get immense benefit. These projects are very much small in nature, and the rejuvenation process itself is inexpensive and simple to carry. And so far, these Malguzari tanks are located in various villages. It was easier for us to have buy-in from local community. And by doing so, we can easily help the farmers to generate additional income, and we can strengthen the economy, local economy. Now, going forward, what we can still offer to the stakeholders? By desilting, the percolation process was started from this tank. Groundwater level has increased considerably. Now, we can have more and more wells in command area. For that, we can undertake construction of wells under MG-NREGA scheme to small and marginal farmers. Then we can have a cultivation of bamboo along the periphery of these tanks so that there will not be any further accumulation of silt. If we have a plantation of bamboo around periphery of this submerged land, that will help to block the incoming silt. So that will also help to maintain these tanks. We have also carried out an important initiative in this rejuvenation process. After getting advice from Fisheries Department, we have prepared a proposal of nurseries, and we have prepared a proposal of nurseries and hatcheries for the purpose of fisheries. This work is very simple. Many of the component of this work was related to earthwork only. So later on, we suggested to the Department of Fisheries that let us have the job card of the members of this Fisheries Cooperative Society, and we can take up the work of rearing pond and nursery under MG-NREGA. On many tanks, on adjoining land of these tanks, we have carried out this work of nurseries and rearing pond. This has helped a lot to a local fisheries cooperative society. So in short, we have in the entire process of rejuvenation, we have taken care of three aspects or three categories of beneficiaries or stakeholders: farmers, fishermen, and then the adjoining land which was not in command area, but due to percolation of the water from tank, and due to increase in groundwater table, the wells in adjoining area was also getting extra water. So the farmers which are not directly situated in command area, they were also getting benefit of this. So this was a great exercise. Government of Maharashtra was providing me all these amenities to carry out this work. The machinery was available, which was owned by Water Resources Department. My friends in mechanical organization helped me a lot in carrying out this exercise. The district administration was very positive. Since we did not acquire any land, there were hardly any court cases regarding this. On the contrary, when we removed the encroachment in submergence area, the panchayat people were quite helpful, and they also joined us in removal of the encroachments. And as I mentioned earlier, the Principal Secretary of Water Conservation and Rural Development was holding additional charge was of our department. He also very actively supported in entire endeavor. So I was very much thankful to all the stakeholders and the people who supported this cause. And I started this movement in year 2008, and fairly due to participation of many engineers and farmers, we could able to establish, we could able to institutionalize this effort, and this exercise was going on from 2008 till today. So you can understand that process is going on since more than 12 years. So how much efforts we are putting into this. And fortunately for me, people took cognizance of my work, and my name was included in the category of 5 Water Warriors of India. In year 2017, I have received an award from India Today Group in Community Mobilizer category. At the time of award ceremony, they told me that it is very difficult for a government officer to be a part of community mobilizer, because they said many people think that community mobilization is a different aspect and our job is a different. But we integrate these two aspects, we can do a wonderful work. And finally, I am very much thankful to Honorable Secretary, Ministry of Jal Shakti, and also thankful to respected Ashok sir, respected JP Singh sir, Anupama ji, to offer this opportunity to make a presentation before this August guardians, August people. Thanks.
बहुत बढ़िया सृष्टि जी, आपकी जी सीधी आप जैसे लोगों से इंस्पिरेशन लेते हैं हम लोग, क्योंकि हम ज्यादातर लोग प्रेजेंटेशन करते हैं वो फिजूली बात करते हैं, थियोरेटिकल बात करते हैं। आप जो काम किए हैं, आपके एक्सपीरियंस से, दिल से एक्सपीरियंस से बोल रहे हैं, दैट मेक्स लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंस। एक्चुअली बहुत बढ़िया काम आपने किया विद द people's participation. The people participation, जैसे आपने बताया, is the best way to get people sustain. Otherwise क्या होता है कि हम एक या दिन जब हमारा पोस्टिंग होता है, कुछ करते हैं, चले जाते हैं, और हमारे जाने के बाद वो एकदम बेकार होता है। तो वही होता है, अगर इफ यू डोंट इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज सिस्टम, आपने अच्छा किया, वहाँ के लोगों को इन्वॉल्व किया, गाँव वालों को इन्वॉल्व किया, एंड उनका फल वो लोग देख लिया, और इसलिए वो सस्टेन करते रहते हैं। बहुत बढ़िया आशीष जी। एक्चुअली मैं भी 2-3 मिनट अपना एक्सपीरियंस बता रहूंगा। जब मैं ट्राइबल एरिया में काम करने में अलग ही मजा है। तो आदिलाबाद के पास उडूर है, और आंध्र प्रदेश में भद्राचलम जैसे एक ट्राइबल एरिया है, बड़ा ही इलाका है वहाँ पे। वहाँ के ट्राइबल फार्मर्स को इकट्ठा करके हमने भी ये पार्टिसिपेटरी मैनेजमेंट किया था। उन्हीं के योगदान से, श्रमदान से तकरीबन 200 टैंके बनाए थे उनके तरफ से। बिकॉज हमने क्या किया, वहाँ के लोकल लोगों को बताया कि आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है कौन सा लैंड में वाटर ज्यादा आ रहे, कौन सा एरिया में टैंक बनाने से आप सबको फायदा हो सकता है। उसके वैसे उनसे गांव में उस एरिया में क्या कि बिचड़िए बोलते थे, छोटे छोटे, बड़े गांव नहीं, छोटे छोटे ट्राइबल एरिया में तो आप जानते हैं छोटे छोटे एरिया होते हैं।
Yes.
उन लोगों को बताया कि देखो आप अपने एरिया में बैठ के बात करके बताइए कहाँ पे डैम बनाना है। डैम बनाने के एस्टिमेट इंजीनियर लोग तैयार करते थे और इंजीनियर लोग वो एस्टिमेट तैयार करके उनको ही देते थे। और हमने उसको मिस्टिफाई करके, जैसे वो इंजीनियर लोग दिस क्यूबिक मीटर बोलते हैं, हम उसको कितने ट्रैक्टर लोड या कितने वो लोकल लैंग्वेज में कोल बोलते थे, कितना मट्टी डालना है, कैसे मट्टी डालना और कैसे उसको स्ट्रेंथन कराना, ये सब काम उन्हीं से करा के गांव वालों के पार्टिसिपेशन पूरा मिला के हमने काम किया था। एंड उनका अकाउंट्स भी वही लोग मेंटेन करते थे। तो जब भी कोई टैंक में, और वो टैंक सब ये क्या है अपने इंजीनियरिंग कोड के मुताबिक स्टैंडर्ड से बनाते थे। जैसे आपने बताया आपका टैंक बंद का टैंक ऊपर वाले एरिया के टैंक बंद का ऊपर एरिया का कैसा होना चाहिए, स्लोप कैसा होना चाहिए, पिचिंग कैसा करना है, ये सब अपने इंजीनियरिंग कोड के मुताबिक होते थे। बट ये काम हम उनको सिंप्लीफाई करके बताया कि ऐसे ऐसे स्लोप होना चाहिए, आपको करना है। तो वो लोग काम करके, लेडी सब जन सब मिलके काम करके उसको बनाए थे। बना के पिचिंग करके सेफ भी किया था, वेयर्स भी नया था, जैसे आपने बताया आउटलेट टैंक्स के लिए ये बताया था। ये सब करने के बाद जितने भी अगर पैसा बच गया, वो बोला कि आपको 5 लाख का 10 लाख का टैंक बनाने, अगर 8 लाख में काम हो गया, 2 लाख हम उनके अकाउंट में डालते थे मेंटेनेंस के लिए। इसकी वजह से क्या होता है कि उनको भी एक तो ज्यादा सेविंग करने का उनका भी आदत होगी, दे स्टार्टेड सेविंग मनी, एंड वो मेंटेनेंस के लिए भी पैसा मिलते थे। तो ये 2-3 साल वो मेंटेन करने के बाद क्या होता है कि उनके आमदनी बढ़ गया, नीचे जमीन में वो कृषि भी बढ़ने लगा, तो उनको थोड़ा इनकम और आने लगा। जैसे आपने बताया वंडरफुल एक्सपीरियंस, एक पानी की वजह से जैसे उनका एनिमल्स जैसे बढ़ गया, वो मिल्क प्रोडक्शन की वजह से मिल्क का आमदनी बढ़ गया उनका, डेफिनेटली दूध पीने से उनका सेहत भी अच्छे हुए होंगे। एंड गोबर गैस से, गोबर गैस प्लांट, एक टोटल एक एक चीज को अगर हम पूरे इंटीग्रेटेड वर्क वे में देखेंगे तो ऐसा हो सकता है। मेरे गवर्नमेंट ने किया था कि हर डिपार्टमेंट अपने अपने डिपार्टमेंट की तरह से सोचे। ये अगर गोबर की बात करेंगे तो बोले कि ये क्या एनिमल डिस्पेंसरी डिपार्टमेंट, हमारा कोई मतलब नहीं, ऐसे होता है। इंजीनियर वाला जो इरिगेशन डिपार्टमेंट बोले उसको कोई ध्यान नहीं देते। अच्छा कि आपने उसी में ध्यान दिया, उसके गोबर को कैसे यूज करने का ये वैसे बताया। देखो दूसरा डिपार्टमेंट होता है जो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, वही लोग गोबर गैस प्लांट देखते हैं। तो एनिमल हस्बेंड्री डिपार्टमेंट बोले कि ये हमारा काम नहीं, वो दूसरे डिपार्टमेंट का काम है। तो ऐसे होता है। पर देखो एक टैंक आने से टैंक के बगल में उसका ग्रास ज्यादा हो गया, फोडर मिल गया, तो दे स्टार्टेड एनिमल हस्बेंड्री से गोबर मिल गया उनको, इसको जोतने के लिए they got some एनिमल पावर। ये सब क्योंकि इंटीग्रेटेड सोचने के वजह से हुआ है। जैसे वहां से मिट्टी निकाल के सिल्ट निकाल के खेत में डाला, ये सब इंटीग्रेटेडली सोचने से होता है। तो बहुत बढ़िया, आपने बहुत काम किया। तो आई ऑल्सो हैड दैट एक्सपीरियंस, मैंने 200 टैंक्स बनाए थे। एंड द बेस्ट थिंग वेरी प्राउडली से, जब बहुत बारिश हुई थी एंड देन फ्लड आए थे, हमने जो 200 टैंक्स बनाए वो सब बच गए। एंड उनके बगल वाले जो पंचायत राज डिपार्टमेंट और जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स टैंक्स बन गए थे वो सब फट के ब्रिज ये तो लोग जो पब्लिक बनाए थे वो टैंक्स वो सब बच गए, और इंजीनियर्स जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को पैसे देके कराए थे वो मोस्ट ऑफ देम ब्रिज। दैट्स द स्टोरी। 1998 की बात है, फ्लड की बात है भद्रा जिले में। एंड बट ओनली थिंग इज दैट मैं आपने अगेन इंटीग्रेटेड काम किया, फिशरीज को लाया, फिशरमैन के लिए वो शेल्टर बहुत अच्छा कंसेप्ट है। ज्यादातर कोई लोग सोचता नहीं कि पानी वहां जाके वो पतला 1 इंच पानी हो जाता है तो फिश सब मर जाते हैं। उनको छोटा गड्ढा बना के शेल्टर पिट बनाया ताकि ये पानी वहां जमा हो जाए और फिशर्स को सर्वाइव करने के लिए मदद मिले। बहुत बढ़िया कंसेप्ट है। एंड आपने पूरा वॉट एवर भी द गवर्नमेंट स्कीम, मनरेगा से, अपने डिपार्टमेंट के मिशनरी से, सबको मिला के कर दिया, बहुत बढ़िया। ओनली थिंग मैं आपसे आगे मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि हमारा नॉर्मली क्या होता है कि जहाँ पे पानी मिलता है तब हमारा फर्स्ट सोच है कि पैडी पे जाए, तो पैडी से वाटर गस्लिंग क्रॉप। तो आपको फार्मर्स को समझाना चाहिए कि जो आपके इलाके में पता नहीं कौन सा फसल उगते हैं, तो महाराष्ट्र में पहले तो देखा जाए कि वो शुगर केन में जाता है। शुगर केन बहुत पानी घसीटता है, तो जो क्रॉप उस एरिया के लिए सूटेबल है, जो कम पानी लेता है, बिकॉज आप पानी बहुत मेहनत करके लाया, तो उसको एक ही क्रॉप में बना के पूरा पी लिया तो पूरा खत्म हो जाता है। इसलिए राइट क्रॉप का भी आप उनसे चर्चा करके उससे उसको ध्यान देना है कि कौन सा क्रॉप राइट क्रॉप है। तो बेसिकली मैं बताता हूँ, हम ज्यादातर बोलते रहते हैं मोर क्रॉप पर ड्रॉप। मैं मानता हूँ अभी ये मॉनिटर्स इकोनॉमी, इसलिए मोर क्रॉप पर ड्रॉप नहीं, मोर इनकम पर ड्रॉप होना चाहिए। अगर हम 20,000 खर्च करके हमको एक 40,000 का क्रॉप आ जाता है, हमारा मुनाफा तो 20,000 ही है। अगर हम 80,000 खर्च करके हमको 1 लाख का क्रॉप आए, तो भी हमारा 20,000 ही मुनाफा होता है। तो बेसिकली व्हाट हैपन, हमको प्रायोरिटाइज करके वाटर के जो मोर इनकम पर ड्रॉप में का दृष्टि आकर्षण करना है। तो आई थिंक आप इसमें भी मदद करेंगे सही फसल और एरिया में फार्मर्स को लाने के लिए, ताकि वे डोंट गो फॉर हायर। So now the session is open for questions. I am very happy that a lot of questions are also happening and a lot of people are inspired with the very simple. इसमें बड़े rocket science नहीं है, आप लोगों को जोड़ के लोगों की ज्ञान, लोकल ज्ञान से आपने किया, बहुत बढ़िया। Let us open it for questions, please.
I agree and support sir's comments that yes, wonderful work being done by Shirish ji. And now we are officially open for the question answer session. All of those who had been attending Water Talk are well versed with the format. However, the ones who have joined us for the first time, right in front of your screen, you have a window wherein you can either type your question, ask your query, or you can also raise hand. Once you raise the hand, our team will unmute you. You can introduce yourself and put forward your query. So we are officially open. I can see a couple of questions which I'll be taking and sharing with Shirish ji. In the meantime, if there are any questions, please raise your hand and we'll unmute you.
Yes, Mr. Abhishek Mehta, you may please ask your query.
Hi, sir.
Yes.
My question is that with all the current schemes and initiatives, how do you see the future of water management?
If we look at our country as a whole, you will find that in many parts of our country, we have such traditional irrigation systems. For example, in Bihar, we have such tanks. In adjoining area of Jharkhand, we have this Ahar and Pan. If you come down in Bundelkhand area, this area also have such tanks. If you go down south, such tanks are also available in northern Karnataka, southern Tamil Nadu, and in many parts of eastern India. Suppose if we involve community and work with them, and if we rejuvenate our traditional irrigation system, which is very simple and easy to do, we can generate more area under command. So the total irrigated area will grow up significantly. So this can be done easily. Buy-in from local community simple, provided the government agencies should come down to village level, or the district level officers should come down to village level and work with the community. Then we can do a wonderful thing. It entirely depends on how our approach towards water management. We should have a participatory water management approach, then we can get wonderful results. Thank you.
I request Mr. Jagdish Basin, you may please ask your query.
Good morning, madam. There is a echo somewhere.
Please go ahead, sir. We can hear you. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, but I am getting echo. So what happens is actually in
Sir, we can hear you clearly. You can go on.
a problem of algal growth.
आप जी आप अपना माइक म्यूट करेंगे तो एको नहीं आएंगे एक बार
माइक
म्यूट कर लीजिएगा तो कि एको नहीं आएंगे
मेरी आवाज आ रही है मेरा can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
What I'm saying is usually in impoundment reservoirs or impounded reservoirs or lakes or whatever it is, there is a problem of algal growth because of the sewage, incoming. Sometimes it is so much in lakes, particularly where there are no exits, that it turns into a bloom. It's a solid green. Now, was there any algal growth in these ponds which you have rejuvenated? And if yes, then how did you get rid of that? Because it's a problem here also. We want to find out a way how algae can be removed.
Sir, in the rejuvenation process of Malguzari tanks, many of our tanks are located close to forest, far away from village. So the process of this dirty water coming into our lakes or Malguzari tanks, that possibility was removed. However, as we have rightly said, that there is a problem of algae in many lakes, as you have rightly observed. However, in case of these tanks in eastern part of Vidarbha, the local fish variety in our area is herbivorous. So the fish, local fish in these tanks, they need algae because in many areas the native breed of fish is carnivorous. In our area it is herbivorous. So they need this. Secondly, another issue is during lean season, we can remove the algae and we can make a compost out of that. The algae contains huge quantum of phosphate and nitrogen and which will be very useful. Now, so far monetary aspect is concerned, under the MG Narega scheme, there is a provision of having the compost pit. There is also another form of composting which is called a NADEP system of composting that has already been included by Government of India in under MG Narega scheme. So you can take benefit of that. So the villagers need not have to spend extra money, and whatever algae you have composted or carried out the composting process of that can be used very well in the field, which will certainly increase your productivity.
I request Mr. Rishikesh Gokhale. You may please ask your query. I request again Mr. Rishikesh Gokhale. You may please ask your query. I request Miss Majeti Ravi. You may please ask your query.
Trial version. Trial version. Trial version.
I request Ms. Kirit Trivedi. You may please ask your query.
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon, all the participants. Very nice presentation by Mr. Apte sir.
Yes.
Actually, I want to share regarding Jal Sanchai Abhiyan from the government of Gujarat. It is very likely that the deepening of old ponds and lakes has become very useful. The current scenario for the desilting of the lakes can get the more beneficial for the farmers and the catchment area. During last 3 years, Government of Gujarat has done very good Jal Abhiyan for defending the lakes and construction of new lakes, dams, desilting, and excavation earth of the total quantity during the 3 years was more than 42 lakhs cubic feet. So, like your works, the Government of Gujarat has already done a good work to restore the benefits of conservation of waters and the building capacity. Thanks. These are only some points to be shared with the August gathering.
Many states have started actually. आपको याद पता होगा, Telangana government has started a program called Mission Kakatiya. 44,000 tanks को deepen करने के लिए program किया था. कई साल पहले we had a program called Niru Miru. Niru means water and Miru means you. ये प्रोग्राम बनाया था गवर्नमेंट ऑफ आंध्र प्रदेश, कंबाइंड आंध्र प्रदेश के टाइम में, जहाँ पे पब्लिक को बताया गया कि आप अपना ट्रैक्टर सब लेके आके अपना सिल्क, जो आपने सब बता रहे थे, दैट सिल्क फ्रॉम द टैंक्स इज अ मच वेरी गुड फर्टिलाइजर, उसको लेके जाने के लिए मुफ्त में दे रहे थे. बट कई लोग हमारा क्या होता है कि पीपल आर गॉट यूज्ड टू एवरीथिंग बीइंग डन बाय द गवर्नमेंट, तो बोलते हैं कि ट्रैक्टर दे दो हमको, ये दे दो, वो दे दो, हमेशा उनके जमीन के लिए, जो फर्टिलिटी इंक्रीज करने वाला सॉइल ले जाने के लिए भी हम ट्रैक्टर प्रोवाइड करेंगे, आपके घर में लाके दे देंगे, कैसे करना पड़ा. But then, as Apte ji said, we should now motivate the farmers to come forward and do that. And many, as the speaker said, many states have come forward with schemes like this. Gujarat done, Rajasthan has come with Sufalam Jafalam schemes there, Bihar government has done, Telangana government has done. So many government is doing the scheme. But the only thing is that we should get involvement of people. The government schemes में क्या होता है कि contractor का कुछ करते हैं. That is not the thing. Sustenance के लिए it has to be a government participatory approach. Government can really support it and facilitate it by creating. And that exactly is what we are trying to do in the Catch the Rain campaign. हमारा campaign Catch the Rain, where it falls, when it falls, अगले 3 महीने में, फरवरी है, मार्च, अप्रैल, महीने में हमको नेचुरल कंटेनर्स, वो जो बर्तन हम बोलते हैं ना, बर्तन तैयार करके रखने के लिए मुहिम चला रहे हैं. So I saw a question from somebody, Rishikesh Gokhale साहब, he has the question telling how common public can contribute towards groundwater rejuvenation. बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं. जी, आपके घर में जो भी है उसका छत के रूफ के जो वाटर है उसको कंजर्व कर लीजिएगा. आपके यहाँ पे बावी है तो उस बावी में डालने ये पानी डाल दीजिए. आपके कंपाउंड से कंपाउंड में जितने भी रेन वाटर आता है उसको कंजर्व करके लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स पब्लिक कैन डू.
First, Balraj Joshi, you may please ask your query.
Thank you very much. And this is really a very exemplary work done by Shri Apte. I congratulate him for this. And I was just wondering, sir, of course, Mr. Ashok Kumar has already spoken about this. Can this model not be adopted for improving the condition of such water bodies elsewhere in the country? Where engineering departments keep on waiting for approval, and rather than community mobilization, they wait for approvals and then ultimately the work is not done. I was wondering whether an SOP of some sort can be initiated by Ministry of Jal Shakti so that other states can take a cue from this and try to form policies on the issue around, so that the benefits which have actually accrued to the farmers of Maharashtra, small and marginal farmers, that should be available elsewhere also. Thank you.
No, it's available. I think Ministry of Rural Development के पास ये program भी है, मनरेगा में करते भी है. It's available, so it's a matter of getting people motivated. हमारा है क्या है कि everything सरकार करके देना पड़ता है. That attitude has to change. Farmers have to come forward and do that, and मनरेगा won't देते ही है. So I think we should motivate farmers to come and take part in their own destiny creation. Every time waiting for the government to come and do this.
Sir, I would like to add something to this. During this entire exercise and after completion or rejuvenation of these tanks, the first tank I have rejuvenated was in year 2008. Later on, after 5 years, when I have visited that particular village, the total number of tractors available in that particular village was more than 70. They were having motorcycles. Almost each and every household was having that. Then they were having pakka kua or well. In some cases, bore well, submersible pump, etc. Their houses were in good condition. They are improved on that. So in short, if we undertake such activity, it will generate demand of industrial product. So we can also rope in the industrial houses. See, there are 4 to 5 companies only, they are making tractors. So if somebody is buying tractor from these 4 companies only, at Government of India level, suppose if we involve FICCI, CII and all other industrial organizations into this entire process, we can easily get financial assistance from the industry and we can very well undertake or carry out operation on very large scale. And our focus area should be, if possible, the aspirational districts of India. Because those 2 districts where I have worked initially were aspirational districts. In 5 years, everything has improved. So if we undertake any or prepare any such scheme, my request is kindly look at the aspirational district and kindly look at water starved area like Bundelkhand.
वही कर रहे हैं एक्चुअली मोस्ट ऑफ द वाटर स्ट्रेस एरिया में हम अभी जल शक्ति अभियान शुरू करने वाला है जल शक्ति अभियान अभी अगले अप्रैल में शुरू होंगे बट बेसिकली द प्रिंसिपल्स रिमेन द सेम जैसे आपने बताया वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग स्ट्रक्चर्स बनाना है हमने आप अपना हमारा वेबसाइट देख लीजिए इट इज ऑल टू कैच एवरी ड्रॉप ऑफ वाटर व्हिच कम्स इन एंड स्टोर्स इट तो हमारा ये भी मकसद है कि अगर हम इस समय का पानी जो बारिश के टाइम में जो मानसून आता है उसी के पानी को संभाल के रखेंगे जो समर में टैंकर का समस्या आती है ना जो टैंकर चलाते हैं सब लोग टैंकर माफिया तो टैंकर मुक्त भारत बनाने के लिए भी हो सकता है टैंकर मुक्त भारत बनाने के लिए शुड एंश्योर दैट वाटर इज अवेलेबल ये वाटर कहाँ से आएगा बारिश के पानी को हम अगर इकट्ठा करके संभाल के रखेंगे तो काम आ जाएंगे बट संभाल के रखने के लिए क्या चाहिए वी शुड हैव प्लेस टू स्टोर द वाटर है तो क्या पानी बह के चले जाते नदी में चले जाते समुद्र में चले जाते we should have containers ready to keep ready to collect the water containers कैसे बनाएंगे जैसे आपने जी बताया you have to refill the tanks increase the volume of tanks ये सब कुछ करने से होगा and second point आपने ने बताया in Maharashtra many of the places the corporate bodies are coming in Tata Foundation is working many of the areas the Pani Foundation is also working there जो अपने इक्विपमेंट्स देते हैं और डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को बोलते हैं कि आप अपना तेल भरा के दीजिए तो वो भी होता है दिस इज अ मॉडल बट ये तो हर स्टेट में नहीं हो सकता ना महाराष्ट्र में इतने इंडस्ट्रीज है ये जो जस्ट इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया में तो मुश्किल है तो हर एक इलाके के लिए अपने अपने एक्सपीरियंस कराना है अपने अपने लोकल इनोवेशन कराना पड़ेगा और बहुत बढ़िया बहुत सजेशन बिकॉज we will have to involve everybody, involve the corporates, we have to get the factories, we have to involve the farmers, we have to involve the people. जैसे प्रधानमंत्री हमेशा बोलते रहते हैं जल आंदोलन को जन आंदोलन बनाना है.
I request Mr. Rakesh Mehrotra. You may please ask your query.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
I'm audible. Yes, yes. I would like to congratulate Mr. Apte for the excellent work and that too on the ground he has done. Many people talk and they don't see the evaluation and the final outcomes of the project and they claim that it's a great project. Anyway, what I wanted to ask that in our villages, all the traditional wisdom must be existing, I suppose.
Yes.
So what are the inputs they require in terms of technical inputs? There may be financial inputs required, but when somebody from outside comes to the village, what is the efficiency observed in the tanks that they have? Or I mean, I'm limiting it first to the tanks only, not other schemes. What are the deficiencies which we observe, which could be corrected? For example, the silt removal, I think every villager knows that can be removed and all that. Whether their method is efficient or not, I do not know. So I'd like to hear about that, sir.
Sir, can you talk bit loudly, please?
Am I audible now?
Yes.
I was asking that what are the technical deficiencies in their existing tanks which need some technical support for improvement, as you have done?
Technical inputs are quite vital. See, if a person who does not have any technical background, if he undertakes a desilting operation of a tank, then what happened? The NGO or the person who does not have any technical background, he will simply started excavating the silt. But there are certain technical norms. The desilting should not be carried out up to the tank bund. The technical norm is very clear. Suppose the height of the tank bund is 5 meters, then if the desilting work should be beyond 50 meters, 10 times height of the reservoir. This is a thumb rule. And we have to carry out desilting like that. This was first part. Secondly, in many tanks, there are some structures. For example, waste weir or spill channel or head regulator. These are purely technical components. It needs to be repaired in that manner only. These two aspects. Secondly, as you have rightly said, that we have to use the traditional wisdom also. I talk while carrying out the rejuvenation process. I talked to many old people in the villages. So one old man whose age was more than 85, I asked him, in olden days, there was no concept of phreatic line, etc. So how you could repair the seepages from this particular tank? He told me one thing. First, we observe the place from where the water is coming out. Then we take help of water diviner. You might be knowing that in olden days, we used to take the help of water diviner who used to carry a coconut or some piece of wood in his hand. He used to walk along and he used to locate the underground water source. And many people till today take this help for excavation of well. So the gentleman told me that we locate the source from where the water is coming. And then we used to draw one line 1 meter upstream of that place, 2 meter upstream of the place. Likewise, the water diviner used to move along this line and used to find the various spot or various location from where exactly the water is coming out. And I would like to share an experience with you. I have done this. I also took the help of water diviner. In case of one tank, it was raining heavily during monsoon. And this, as I have told you earlier, this tank does not have any gated waste weir. The waste weir was also flowing. So I called one gentleman who was a water diviner, and he moved along the line and showed me the place from where exactly on the upstream side of the dam the water was seeping inside the tank bund up to the downstream side. Then we took help of the fisherman, remove the muck there, open that hole, and then put it loose soil and then soil inside the sort of a what I can say jute bag and put inside that hole, and subsequently within 45 to 50 minutes entire leakage was stopped. So we have to integrate. I have provided my technical knowledge to them. They have provided their traditional wisdom to me, and we work in tandem. That's why we could able to sort out this problem at local level. Hello.
I request Mr. Trivedi, you may please ask your query.
Good afternoon once again. Actually, the details given by me was actually participatory work done by farmers and the villagers with the help of government of Gujarat. So during the last 3 years, all the works of various works, desilting of check dams, lakes and water conservation systems was done with the help of participatory all of the farmers residing nearby the tanks or the check dams, etc. So why this is I have to add, as Ashok sir already told, that the work should be done as a participatory and the generation of awareness regarding the peoples is to be helpful to their vicinity. So all the works during the last 3 years I have mentioned were participatory and the government helped very much to the participant of the villagers nearby residing the tanks. The total excavator earth was about more than 42 lakhs cubic feet and this desilting was done. Thanks, madam.
I would like, Trivedi sir, I would like to add one word to what you have said.
Yes, sir.
Please form water users association in the command area, so that after completion of government work, this water user association will take up the work of routine maintenance. Secondly, provide them water entitlement. I don't know if your state is having any water resources regulatory authority. If so, kindly approach to them and provide water entitlement to this water user association, so they will officially become stakeholder. Once we ensure that, then water user association will take up the responsibility of operation and maintenance, irrigation management, etc. And they will become proud that since entitlement is granted to them, they started thinking that they are malik of this system and they used to take care of it. So kindly do that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There are a couple of more queries or rather compliments which have come, and they all are appreciating the work. A lot of participants are appreciating your work, and there's one query that is the water from Malguzari tank also being supplied for drinking water?
Yes. There are two aspects into that.
Please.
The drinking water scheme of local villages is usually located close to the river or nala. Okay. So from that river and nala, it is easier for villagers to get water to that water supply scheme. This is one thing. So in case of Malguzari tanks, we are carrying out irrigation in Rabi and Kharif season, both. So during this season, when they carry out irrigation and provide water to their respective field, slowly this water will seep into river or nala. So the nala and river will be recharged by this irrigation water only. So this is a secondary application of that. And because of the secondary application, water is coming down in nala and river. All their drinking water schemes are getting water from the secondary source of water. So we need not have to provide water directly to the drinking water scheme. We are doing it indirectly, or it is happening indirectly. Thank you.
Okay. There's another query which says Maharashtra launched this Jal Yukt Shivir, this abhiyan, to make Maharashtra drought free in 2019. So is this program which you just mentioned, was it also part of this scheme, Jal Yukt Shivir?
No, we have started this work way before Jal Yukta Shivir. We started this in 2008. Later on in 2014, Government of Maharashtra started working on new initiative. It was the concept of very simple, make the Maharashtra drought free. That was the concept. And Government of Maharashtra and its various departments working in water sector, Sakal Media Group and Pemandu, an organization located in the Prime Minister Office of Malaysia, all came together, and for around 2 months we were sitting in Bombay and working on this model of making Maharashtra drought free. And this was, we have done this with multidisciplinary aspect. Irrigation engineers were there, geologists were present, agronomists were present, progressive farmers were present, and we have prepared a foolproof model of making Maharashtra drought free. Later on, Government of Maharashtra adopted this model and carried out some modification to that, and they have launched this program of Jal Yukta Shivar. But our program of rejuvenating Malguzari tanks is a separate, and still it is ongoing. As I have mentioned in my presentation, earlier in 2008 and 9, Government of Maharashtra issued a GR for the purpose of rejuvenation of this tank, and they have also mentioned financial norms in that. Later on in 2014-15, the financial norms were revised and work is going on till today. So this program is entirely different than Jal Yukta Shivar.
Okay. So there is another one where somebody is wanting to know whether there are issued guidelines and other process documents, SOPs for public. If yes, how can one get those documents?
I think this government resolution is available on Government of Maharashtra website. Kindly visit the website of Government of Maharashtra, then click on Water Resources Department and put year 2008 and 9, and then search for various GR available there. So you can get it. And if you send your email address, we can scan that GR and send it to you. No problem.
I hope the participants are getting answer to their respective queries. And one more, how can we ensure quality benchmark in traditional water bodies rejuvenation? Is there a way where we can benchmark the same quality of water?
Quality of water, there are two aspects. If we use available water from these traditional bodies for the sake of drinking purpose, then our quality standard should be very high. Suppose if we are using that water for the purpose of irrigation, we can lower down our standards of water quality. So it can be defined in two ways. As you rightly mentioned, or as you rightly concerned about the quality of water, you can talk to local panchayat or Zilla Parishad. They will collect the water sample and test it into local laboratory, and they will provide you the report. So far our Malguzari tanks are concerned, since many water supply works related to drinking water were located on downstream side of our tanks, the Jilla Parishad of the various districts, they are routinely collecting the sample and testing in their laboratories. In fact, Water Resources Department, Government of Maharashtra has one big water testing laboratory in Nagpur itself. So in case of any issue, or if you want to have detailed report, then they are testing, I think, 13 to 14 parameters of water quality. So we are doing it in Maharashtra. Same thing can be replicated anywhere. Thank you.
Sir, I would like to share that a lot of, like I said, a lot of compliments are coming, and it is a good motivation for a lot of our participants. As we are also receiving messages saying that how can general public get involved in such initiatives? So if you can just, kind of share that how can individuals also become part of this entire program, ongoing programs?
First of all, I would like to thank this person who is interested in carrying out such exercise. So nice of that person, because if want to voluntarily wanted to participate in such activity, that's nice. So my request is kindly approach local authorities and please check if the traditional water body in his area is well within the anything part of existing program. If it is part of any existing program, it is very easy to participate in that. If not, please approach district authorities. Say Water Resources Department, Water Conservation Department, or district collectors. Talk to them, inform them that so many people in my so and so village are interested in joining such activity, And I'm sure that easily they will support you and they will join hands with you and you can easily do that. Suppose if there is no such existing scheme available, when you talk to district authority, kindly mention that suppose if you are a farmer, kindly mention that the villagers of that particular area are interested in taking up such work under MG Narega. So that is also another avenue. In my presentation also I have mentioned that canal repairs were carried out in MG Narega. Rearing pond and nurseries for fisheries were carrying out in MG Narega. Wells in command area were excavated under MG Narega. So it's a very nice scheme. So in urban area, people are not used to it. They say that MG Narega means people are doing something without much involvement. It is not so. The wonderful scheme, and I have worked years together on that, and we have done a very good work. I have seen, I have visited many people, and they say that before his land was not in command area. Sir, with your help, I got this well, and now I am irrigating my 3 acres of land, and my family is very happy. Now we need not have to starve during summer season. And I was so happy that this compliment was much more than me. A dua of Garib is much more than anything else for us.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure, Mr. Gokhale, you got the reply, and many other participants who are keen to join such movements and such programs. He has shown us the way forward. And with this, we are closing the Q&A session. And all these queries which have been asked and have been answered, they will also be there on National Water Mission's website in the FAQ section. And whoever wants to kind of refer it at the later stage can definitely do it. So with this, over to you, Ashok, sir.
Thanks, Shrishi Apteji, for the presentation. But before closing down, I would like to request all the participants, because अभी हमने देखा कि participatory management करने से, water management करने से फायदा क्या होता है. Kindly आप हमारे catch the rain मुहिम में जुट जाइए. Please join us in the catch the rain campaign, because our major source of water is only rain. मैं अगर आपको एक 2 हाइड्रोजन मॉलिक्यूल एटम और एक ऑक्सीजन मॉलिक्यूल को पकड़ा देंगे तो you will not be able to drink water. So our only source of water is rains. We should ensure that the oncoming monsoon में जितने पानी हम इकट्ठा संग्रह कर सकते उतना करना चाहिए. So this campaign of catch the rain is going on in Nehru districts. Nehru Yuva Kendra में चल रहा है. You can also contribute. You would have seen wall writings in your area. Your collectors को भी बोल दिया कि you should drive this campaign. So this is going up in a big way. So there are different ways you can contribute. You can tweet. You can actually join the hashtag Catch the Rain. You see a lot of messages coming on that. You can also join the nwm.go.in GOI is our hashtag address. So you can see a lot of informative materials on Catch the Rain camping orders. You can help us in spreading the awareness, tweeting, retweeting. If you are a social media expert, you can help us. You can join, talk to the district collectors or the other office of the district collector where this work is going on. So next 3 months is very crucial for us. We should all join together in making, collecting and storing as much rainwater as possible, so that, as I said, we would like to have a tanker Mukt Bharat. We should have a drinking water tanker Mukt Bharat. Every people should have water. And the government of India scheme of having the Har Ghar Mein Nal, Ghar Mein Nal Se Jal, that program also requires water. Water has to be, source sustenance has to be there. So ensure that the rainwater is harvested and aquifers are recharged. Thanks a lot for the participation. I request the Sushilji from our Sunilji, advisor from the National Water Mission, to do the formal vote of thanks. Thanks.
Am I audible? आवाज आ रही है सर? अपर सचिव मिशन डायरेक्टर श्री अशोक कुमार जी, सभी वरिष्ठ अधिकारीगण, आज के हमारे मुख्य वक्ता एवं इस जल संगोष्ठी में वर्चुअल माध्यम से जुड़े उपस्थित सभी श्रोतागण का मैं हार्दिक अभिवादन करता हूं। आज की इस जल संगोष्ठी कार्यक्रम के लिए मैं अपनी तरफ से, नेशनल वाटर मिशन की तरफ से आप सबका हृदय से अभिनंदन करता हूं कि आपने अपने व्यस्त कार्यक्रम से समय निकालकर इस कार्यक्रम में अपना बहुमूल्य समय दिया। हम आपके बहुत आभारी हैं। आप सब लोगों की तरफ से मैं हमारे आज के मुख्य वक्ता जी का भी बुरी बुरी प्रशंसा करता हूं। जिस तरह से आपने रिजुविनेशन ऑफ टैंक्स इन विदर्भा रीजन के बारे में हम लोगों को अपने अनुभव का ज्ञान दिया। ये रिजुविनेशन भी एक तरह का वाटर कंजर्वेशन ही है, और वाटर कंजर्वेशन के बारे में जैसे कहावत है कि जल एक निधि है और वर्षा जल संचयन इसे बचाने की एक विधि है। तो ये रिजुविनेशन ऑफ टैंक एक अपने आप में एक विधि है जिससे हम वाटर को कंजर्व करते हैं। मुझे उम्मीद ही नहीं कि पूरी उम्मीद है कि आज सभी लोगों ने आज की जल संगोष्ठी में ये रिजुविनेशन ऑफ टैंक्स के विषय का आनंद उठाया होगा। जैसे कि हम जानते हैं कि हम 3 R के बारे में हम अक्सर सुनते रहते हैं, रिड्यूस, रीयूज एंड रिसाइकिल। अब हमको इसको 5 R में बदल देना चाहिए। रिड्यूस, रीयूज, रिसाइकिल, एंड नाउ 4th इज रिजुविनेशन, रिस्टोरेशन, रिजुविनेशन ऑफ ओल्ड ट्रेडिशनल वाटर स्ट्रक्चर। जैसा कि आज के हमारे वक्ता ने भी बताया कि कैसे उन्होंने टैंक्स को रिजुविनेट किया है। तो ये हमारा एक चौथा R होना चाहिए। और 5वां R है हमारा रिस्पेक्ट टू वाटर। वी ऑल शुड टेक प्लेज दैट फ्रॉम टुडे ऑनवर्ड्स वी विल गिव ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट टू वाटर। तो हमको इस 5 R पे काम करना है। मैं धन्यवाद करता हूं अपर सचिव मिशन डायरेक्टर श्री जी अशोक कुमार जी का और उनकी अगुवाई में काम करने वाली नेशनल वाटर मिशन टीम का भी। इनके अथक प्रयास से आज ये कार्यक्रम अच्छी तरह संपूर्ण हुआ है। जो लोग इस प्रोग्राम से प्रत्यक्ष और अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से जुड़े हैं, जैसे वाटर डाइजेस्ट टीम, मीडिया टीम ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ वाटर रिसोर्सेज, उन सबका भी मैं धन्यवाद करता हूं। तो आप सभी को इस जल संगोष्ठी में पूरे उत्साह और ऊर्जा के साथ हिस्सा लेने के लिए भी मैं फिर से धन्यवाद करता हूं। और मैं ज्यादा समय न लेते हुए अब धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव को यहीं पर समाप्त करता हूं। एट लास्ट आई वांट टू से, माता है भूमि, पिता है पानी, यही कह रही है कुर्बानी। और जैसा कि मैंने पहले भी बताया था और मैं आज फिर बताना चाहूंगा कि वर्षा जल संरक्षण के मामले में हमारे अपर सचिव और मिशन डायरेक्टर जी का कहना है कि डॉन का पकड़ना मुश्किल ही नहीं बल्कि नामुमकिन है, पर बारिश को पकड़ना मुश्किल बिल्कुल नहीं है और एकदम मुमकिन है। सो वी ऑल शुड प्रमोट एंड प्रैक्टिस रेन वाटर कंजर्वेशन and also support our campaign on catch the rain where it falls when it falls। आप सभी लोगों से मैं अपेक्षा करता हूं कि आप सब भी इस हमारे कैच द रेन कैंपेन को पूरा सहयोग देंगे और इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे। शुक्रिया, जय हिंद। Over to water digest. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you everyone for joining us today for this water talk, and keep attending these talks. And if you have any query, you may keep writing to us and post it on the National Water Mission's website or Water Digest website. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ashok ji. Thank you so much, Suresh.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.